Welcome back to Don's Life. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining today. Right here we have my 2021 GMC Sierra AT4. A while back, almost 2 years now, I installed a GMC Illuminated front emblem on the GMC Sierra, and it worked really well for about 13 months, actually just short of that, maybe a week over the 1 year mark. And the dealership was not willing to replace it under warranty, who I had purchased it from. So as I've established relationships over the years, this relationship that I'm talking about is with 404parts.com. We have finally got a replacement. So I got one right here, but I'm hoping that this one isn't gonna fail. So before I install it, which is the purpose of today's video, I want to take some extra measures just to help keep the moisture out, because the first one had some moisture penetration and I think that's what led to its failure. So we're gonna do something to this one here, then we're going to install it. And because I've done all these lighting upgrades on the vehicle, please stick around to the end so you can see what it all looks like when it's tied together with the Illuminated logo working. Let's go. So just before we get started, I wanted to announce officially that the Don's Life Swag Hub is now open. So if you want to support the channel, definitely check out the Don's Life Swag. There's a number of different options. I just went for some Don's Life font. Logo is right here. You can get the actual Don's Life logo behind me here, like that sign. You can get AT4 logos. You can get Let's Go. You can get a number of different things that you've seen on the channel. And based on the samples, I'm really happy with the quality. That was one of my concerns before we launched this store. And I can tell you that this stuff is the real deal. It's licensed. It's used by a lot of other reputable sellers when it comes to this type of merchandise. This is not craft store special swag, I promise you. We're still working on a larger catalog, so that'll come. If you see a variation that you don't like, but it's close, shoot me a message if we can whip something up that fits what more people will want. We'll try that out, don't worry. It does take a little bit of time, but if you want to support the channel and the Don's Life journey and what we're doing here and allow us to open more doors for other things, then definitely pick yourself up something. The only downside is if you're in Canada, our government charges duty depending on what you order. I had to pay duty for these samples, but I've ordered other clothing items from the States before and have not paid duty, but then sometimes I do.
It's just random.
So as an example, 2 hoodies and a hat cost me $25 in Canadian dollars for duty. But again, I don't control that. You may get charged it, you may not. Otherwise, all the pricing's there, whether you're shopping in the US or Canada. Mrs. Don's Life and I are continuing to look for other vendors that will offer shipping internationally besides just Canada and the US. It's really not that easy, which surprises me. Some don't want to do Canada, but they'll do the US and vice versa, and they want to do everywhere but one. And it's just, I won't drag you into it, but it's really annoying. But either way, we got some stuff there. We put the pricing as competitive as we can. We're doing it just to really keep the lights on with the Don's Life swag store right now. It's still in its infancy, but please check it out. Give me some feedback if there's something you want to see. We'll try to make it happen. No promises. I have to worry about copyright infringement and stuff like that, so we also want to be careful at the same time. But please check it out if you want to support the channel. Now back to the project. Now what I'd like to do here is find the points of weakness. So if I examine the logo, there is a seam. Hopefully you can see that there, but right along the clear plastic and where the black plastic meet, there's a seam all the way around the logo. So I'm gonna mask very close up to that seam. I'll leave like a 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, and then I'm gonna press clear silicone all the way around the whole logo and seal that up. Now on the back, there are these white circular stickers. And I believe these white circular stickers are here to stop people from tampering with this and voiding the warranty. But what I'm going to do is put a little bit of silicone over top of each of them, just in case that's another point of weakness. What I'm not going to do, which could be a point of weakness, is fill the gap between the black lettering and the clear plastic. I don't want to fill this gap here because if I put silicone in there, I know it will fill up with bugs and dirt and just look gross and ugly after a while. So I'm hoping that underneath these black letters, that is completely sealed and I don't have to worry about it. But other than that, I'll take care of the rest. Okay, we got that wrapped. Remember, it doesn't have to be pretty. All we're trying to do is we're trying to get the silicone just into this little gap that's right there. So I'm going to use this silicone right here. It's clear, but it comes out white and dries clear. So don't panic when you see that. So I'm just gonna work a bead on here, probably use my finger a bit, use this little scrapey tool, and then I'm just going to make sure I push that silicone into the cracks everywhere that I can. Let it dry, which doesn't take very long. Peel the tape off, make sure it looks good, and then install it. Okay, the emblem is ready to go. We got these areas covered up. You can see the silicone's dried clear now. I also did the inner area of the G here. I did that off camera last. And you can see the seams look nice and clean. I'm very, very happy. So now let's turn our direction to the truck. We'll pop the hood, we'll find the wiring harness, and we'll wire this back up. All right, I have it tucked in here. I did not want moisture getting into this while it was disconnected, so hopefully we're good there and no corrosion. But now I got to take off this shroud so I can run the wire over there just behind this area, make sure it's all clipped in, and then we can plug the emblem in. All right, I think we're ready to go. The hardest part about running this wire was making sure that these little grip tabs weren't in the way of where the shroud comes down. So I fished it under here, and I have one of these grip tabs. I don't know what they're actually called. One of them's in behind there, grabbing onto the sheet metal, and one is here. Now we just have to take our end, and we have to pass it through this hole right here. So let me work on trying to aim that. There we go. Just take the tape off here. Now we just got to clip it in. And just before I push it all the way in, I should test it. Yes, it works. Well, hello, old friend. It has definitely been a minute. There she is, all working again. I really did miss it. Remember, I've got these grill lights now and all the other lighting, so I'm just gonna button everything back up, and then we'll take it outside and do a bit of a montage. Well, I think that worked out pretty well. We got our old friend back. She now has a name again. The name tag is in place. It also lights up. We got all kinds of crazy lights to go with it. That's what I do here. I like lighting. What can I say? Either way, we got the options. We got her back together. I'm happy now. Hopefully the silicone provides that extra protection to keep this thing long lasting, as I feel that it should right from factory. So I guess time will tell in that department. Don't forget to check out the Lifee Swag Hub. It's the best name we could come up with. Lots of quality merchandise on there. Check it out. It's going to continue to grow. That's one way that you can support the channel and the efforts that I put into these projects. But also because the snow is melting, I've got a lot of projects that I've been putting on the back burner now that it's nicer out that I can tackle. Nobody likes working on a dirty vehicle. So I washed the vehicles up today. They look a lot better, but I think this is a good place to end this video. If you liked it, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing, and we'll talk to you next time.